Good morning, I'm Michael from Moat Monster Gaming, and if you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. So today I'm looking at Dungeons & Dragons Adventurer number 17. So this one comes with dice, but I don't know how well we're going to be able to see this. These dice have tiny little axes in them. They're all right. I'm not sure if I'm sold on things inside dice. It's just more dice to me. I've got loads. But here we go, looking into the issue. So going through the contents, we've got sage advice, weaving scenes together, which really is talking about splitting up the party. Then we've got a little bit, it says spell casting, but we've got buying and selling magic items. Then we're Druid heavy on this one. So we've got Druid overview, then what the first level Druid gets, what the second level Druid gets. Then we've got some lore. The lore's quite good this time. So we've got Displace a Beast and the Emerald Enclave. And then finally, we've got this quest here, A Day in the Market, that's got a couple of nifty ideas, but ultimately I think it falls short of being special. And just very quickly, at the back, we have character sheet for the Druid. So let's flip that back again. So first of all, weaving scenes together. Talks a lot here about how you transition between different people in your group as if it was a film and splitting. It talks about why splitting the party. There's a nice piece where it talks about how you know your first rule as a dungeon master is don't split the party, and then it goes into the reasons why you might split the party. It isn't actually as contradictory as it sounds. It brings it together quite nicely. And then here we've got buying magic items. Now I've got to say, in my games we've never had, while magic has been abundant and there's always loot with magic items stashed in it, we've never done buying magic items. I always think it's still better to let the players find it for themselves. But we've got some tables about how easy it is to find the item that you want if you go to a populated market, I suppose. And then here we've got a little bit about how many items you can find and what the average price is. It's okay, but I guess it's a modern thing, but we never used to go and buy magic items when we played in the 80s and the 90s. It was always, you found it, you experimented with it, you worked out what it did, and if it was good, you kept it, and if it was junk, you trashed it. Which brings me on to this, selling magic items as well. Again, it's not something I've really brought into my games, but again, talks about the complications of trying to find a buyer. You know, what if thieves try and rob you while you're trying to sell it? How easy is it to find a buyer? Are you going to get the right value for it? It's good, it's interesting, it's not basic stuff. I'm just not sure it's stuff that I would use. And then moving further on, we've got the Druid. So we have a little overview of what the class plays like. And then, you know, creating a Druid. And then first level features. I really like this picture though of a Spore Druid with his big frog behind him, but it doesn't go into Circle of the Spore, which is what I would play as. It just talks about spell casting ability, a little bit on cantrips. And then again, moving on to the second level features that a Druid would have. Looks like this one's split into two parts. So here's Circle of the Land. It's the only type of Druid that they do talk about. I like Druid. I'm not always sure it's sure. I like this. Look again, this looks like a Spore Druid here. But anyway, so Displace a Beast. It's got a nice couple of pages on them for its lore section. I have to admit, I didn't realise how involved their backstory was. I always thought it was just, you know, the monster that we faced in the wilds and stuff, but actually they've got this big long backstory about coming over from the Feywild. I didn't realise that. And then here we've got a little bit on one of the factions of Forgotten Realms, the Emerald Enclave. So they featured very heavily in the Dungeons and Dragons film from last year. But there we go. There's a little bit on the Emerald Enclave and why you might join them, and you know, I did like that it talks about, it's about maintaining balance. So it's not that they're against cities. They want to work they want cities and nature to work, or civilization, should I say, and nature to work in harmony. I did like the explanation. Which finally brings me on to the encounter, A Day in the Market. And it's okay. It's quite basic, but I like the creature, which we'll get to, but I just think the whole thing falls flat. So basically the idea is that players go to the market basically spend their money, I suppose. They've got, if they've played the other encounters beforehand, they've easily got 300 gold pieces from Morum Greywind. But now, they've got some spending money, so off they go. So in the market, we've got an armourer and a weapons person here. We've got a potions person and then a magical items person. But the whole market is disturbed, and not at a specific time either. It's disturbed when the DM feels like they need to move things on and that we've had enough browsing in the market. So there's disturbance because there's an albino displacer beast on the loose. And I love that because I've never even considered an albino displacer beast. So anyway, displacer beast on the loose. It's and then the person that used to own it, or should I say has trapped it, caught it, and is trying to sell it, he wants the players to help get it back. So once it's escaped, this displacer beast, and everybody's running around screaming, the guards are going to try and kill it. The guards have got to put it down. The person who had it captured and caged, because it's worth so much money, he wants the players to subdue it peacefully and basically render it unconscious, put it down to 0 hit points but not kill. And then when that's done, it turns out somebody, spoilers, it's a druid, somebody has released the creature. So there's this small investigation piece and a little bit on developments where we discover it's the druid, and then we discover why the druid's done, and then that's it, it finishes. So what starts off as a few market locations, giving the players a bit of a chance to do a bartering encounter, then turns out they've got to deal with an escaped monster, and then that's just it. We've got this kind of investigation that falls flat, doesn't go anywhere, and I think it was really disappointing. I understand the druid's motivations, I just felt like it falls a bit flat, and it's quite disappointing after some of the ones we've had previously that have really started to flesh out their characters and the motivations, whereas this one, we've got very bog standard people running the shops, and then we've got Druid who just wants to return it to the wild. I just think it falls flat, and I'm hoping that the next few, especially because I've decided to stop at 20, I'm just hoping the next few have actually got some better encounters in them. But before I go, just very quickly, because I forgot, we've got a little page on magic items at the back, because these are all magic items that you could purchase from the magic item shop in the quest. Anyway, thank you very much for looking. Take care. Goodbye.